gotta pop. You're
Michael and John can leave.
And, I've been very fortunate to grow up with the sport of tennis.
Just now, a thunderclap tore through the tennis universe on a night intended for candles, carols, and a peaceful family dinners. A tale exploded that nobody had on their bingo card for the holiday. Imagine. Take a moment to consider this. A 20-year-old phenomenon wins a historic gold medal, receives more than $1 million in one season, and then takes action too strong enough for even sports immortals to pause and gaze. This is not a work of fiction. Isn't there a positive rumor going around? Social media. This is happening, correct? On Christmas Eve of 2025, and there are emotional aftershocks. From Europe to the Americas to Asia, what you're going to hear isn't merely concerning cash or awards. It's concerning devotion, selflessness, and a decision that has reminded everyone involved in sports of why these kinds of stories are still important. Remain with me, since what transpired next transformed a touching moment into one of tennis's most stunning bombshells has observed in many years. However, before we dive entering this pandemonium head-on, there's something worthy of being expressed loud. This channel has just passed a milestone that was once thought to be far away. Dream. 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. Those who determined that was worth clicking, worthwhile to listen to, worth arguing in the comments. That figure is more than a statistic. It stands for discussions, arguments, and shared enthusiasm, as well as a developing community of supporters who are passionate about this sport. If this tale demonstrates anything, it's that we're just getting started. Thus, thank you. You really are. Let's now discuss what has everyone moved, taken aback, and conversing simultaneously. December 24th, 2025, while the majority of homes were occupied with Christmas paper and wrapping playlists, the world of tennis was caught off guard by two enormous disclosures unrelated to celebrations. In the middle of it all stands a young lady who has been silently getting ready for glory whilst bearing a very personal pledge. Alexandra Eala is her name. Additionally, if that name hasn't yet been stored in your memory, it's going to happen. To comprehend why the moment seems so strange that you must examine the current state of sports. Our time is characterized by excess. There is a new viral video every week. Photo of a young sportsman showing off a supercar, a high-end timepiece, pouring in jewels, or a tour of a mansion that feels it's not so much a celebration as it is a flex. Success is now loud, predictable, and repetitive to the point of numbness. Navigate. If you wait long enough, everything becomes hazy. Champagne, private jets, and pricey toys. Showers. It's acceptable to take pleasure in success, but there is no longer any shock value. For just this reason, what Alexandra Eala did strike folks squarely in the chest, as she didn't adhere to the script. She didn't share a glamorous photo session or reveal a high-end purchase for herself. Rather, the recently crowned Southeast gold medalist and breakout at the Asian Games. Silently, the 2025 WTA season star spent $1.65 of her award of $65 million. Funds for a single purchase. A home, a large, lovely house that is worth every 1 cent. This is the section that has moved adult admirers to tears. It wasn't for her personal comfort. It was intended for her parents. Give that some thought. A 20-year-old athlete at the height of her income upswing, following the most prosperous year of her career, decides to change her greatest financial accomplishment into safety for those who brought her up. No branded hashtags, no announcement, no public festivities, just keys, documentation, as well as allegedly a flood of weeping on the morning of Christmas Eve. This wasn't a rash choice either. According to people close to the Eala family, indicated that Alexandra had made a pledge, created long before the spotlight ever discovered her, when she was grinding via junior circuits, resting in modest lodgings, and pursuing aspirations that felt unbelievably distant. She assured herself that if she ever succeeded, she would start by giving, returning to her parents. And now years. She later fulfilled that pledge in the loudest, quietest manner feasible. To understand the significance of this gesture, you must recognize the investments made by her parents. Reza Eala and Mike did more than just applaud. From the sidelines, they took a chance. Everything. Tennis is among the most costly sports worldwide. Mentoring costs, travel abroad and competitions, entry, gear, fitness personnel, rehabilitation initiatives, and innumerable invisible. Year after year, costs mount without any assurance of achievement. It's not a sport where doors are opened just by talent. It requires unwavering financial dedication. The Eala family prioritized faith over ease. They gave up stability in order to their daughter could strive for greatness. Thus, when Alexandra gave them a house, valued at almost $1.5 million, it was more than a gift. It was confirmation. It served as evidence that each sacrifice, every worrying burden, a difficult choice has purpose. She was the one manner of stating, "You were correct to believe." For a lot of supporters, that would have been sufficient to designate this as among the most heartwarming tales of the year. However, the cosmos was not yet complete, due to the fact that word of the house acquisition, like wildfire, a few hours later, the announcement was released. They transformed a lovely story into a historic one. This time there was a name that is instantly respected. Steffi Graf, 22 Grand Slam victories. The only player and former world #1 in history to accomplish the Golden Slam by winning the Olympic Games and all 4 majors. Gold in just 1 year. A legend who has spent the majority of her retirement away from headlines, coexisting peacefully with Andre Agassi and their household. Graf, Steffi, is not renowned for overstating things. She doesn't give compliments carelessly. She doesn't follow fads. Moreover, however, she issued a statement regarding Alexandra Eala, who caused a stir via the sport. She referred to Alex as the next brightest diamond generation, not a star of the future, not the brightest diamond, a potential talent. When someone like Graf expresses that degree of assurance, the whole tennis, the world pays attention. And that was just the starting. Since reports started emerging almost instantly that this wasn't merely admiration. The Graf has reportedly agreed to a 5-year coaching with Alexandra Eala. 5 years. Nor a symbolic gathering, nor a single training session, an extended collaboration between one of the best players from history and a young lady from the Philippines who recently underwent her family's life indefinitely. This is extraordinary. Graf has experienced innumerable chances to mentor or train upcoming stars throughout time and has steadily decreased her choice to. Now, a clear message is sent by stepping in. Something remarkable is taking place in this place. After then, the narrative moved from sentimental to aerodynamic. This Christmas Eve was more than just a happy time. It might have indicated the genuine start of a new chapter in history of tennis. Steffi's magnitude, stepping forward on a Graf, cannot be exaggerated, as history has already demonstrated to us what occurs when legendary choose to make investments in the future. Tennis has a lengthy memory, and fans are aware of the trend. when Boris Becker joined the camp of Novak Djokovic changed from a top competitor to a merciless winner who ruled over an time period. Ivan Lendl aligned himself when, with the British celebrity Andy Murray, broke his Grand Slam ceiling at last and altered his legacy. These partnerships weren't only for show. They altered perspectives, enhanced intuition, and toughened rivals for the times that determined careers. However, Steffi Graf is even more uncommon. She didn't simply win titles. She was the definition of excellence for a whole generation. For her to erupt from a purposefully silent retirement and designate Alexandra Eala as her endeavor is nothing less than a coronation. This is not a casual endorsement. This signal flare was transmitted over the tennis community that says, pay attention, since this player is not like the others. Timing of this announcement alone increases its effect. A few days prior, Alexandra Eala brought one for Christmas. Among the most significant performances in tennis history in the Philippines, the 33rd Thailand's Southeast Asian Games weren't merely another local rivalry. Regarding the Philippines, they symbolized decades of hope, waiting, and barely making it. The most recent instance, say, Filipino women dominated the singles rankings. Podium back in 1999. 26 years have gone by. Sans gold. Players from different generations attempted, nearly succeeded, and left with bronze or silver that carried equivalent sadness and pride in equal measure. When Alexandra entered the hard courts at the National Tennis Development Center in Nonthaburi, she wasn't merely. She was playing for herself. She had the burden of expectations, history, and pride in the country. The final was meant to be tense. Her rival, Thailand's Manankasini, had the crowd at home, the momentum, as well as the emotional fuel of playing in a familiar setting. What she lacked a response. Alexandra broke up the match using clinical accuracy. Only the scoreline 6-1, 6-2. Indications of the performance's level of completion was, since the first rally, Alex controlled angles, set the pace, and unwilling to provide her rival with any footing. Playing versus an adversary. Crowds are among the most difficult exams in athletics. There is constant noise. Every success was muted, every error magnified. Alexandra remained unflinching. She flourished by the last games. Even the fans from Thailand were praising the way she made shots. At that point, respect transcends dominance. That performance on its own would have been sufficient to raise her profile. However, Steffi Graf probably showed more than just clean winners and effective footwork. She observed calmness. She observed emotional regulation. She observed a competitor who remains composed when the moment becomes more significant. Additionally, when accounts of Alexandra's Christmas Eve gesture appeared when Graf discovered that the same young lady discreetly employed her winnings to ensure her parents' future, the image was finished. Talent may be developed and taught. Character is unable to. This type of grounding is uncommon, particularly in a sport that introduces wealth and celebrity to a young age. Graf has seen innumerable